The first person I want to talk to you tonight about is a young boy. This young boy was raised way out in the country, grew up on a family farm, the sixth of 6 children. So he was always the, I dare you to do this, kid. The older brothers and sisters always put him up to stuff like that. But a little bit about his mother and father. They were born during the Depression. The father's family were sharecroppers, never owning property, moving from farm to farm. By the time the little boy came along, they owned their own property and had been very prosperous. True country folk. The little boy's mother was raised in Binghamton, New York. She was a city girl. But during her teens, her family moved to the country. They wanted to get away from the urban blight of the Depression. The little boy's mother always had dreams of working in a big office building, moving to New York, D.C., those dreams of being the cosmopolitan. But as we know, fate intervenes so many times. The city girl fell in love with the country boy. They got married. She put those dreams aside, like many of us do, to be the good wife to the farmer. The things that the little boy was taught by both of them from his father, hard work will get you everywhere. Perseverance will get you through any task. If you put your nose to the grindstone and you perfect your craft, it will carry the day. Hard work was part of his life. From his mother, live life. Hard work was always there, but live life. Try new things. Get out of your comfort zone. If you fail, there's always tomorrow. You know? So try life. Live life every day. So 2 very different upbringings for the little boy, but life was good. He was the typical country boy. Hunted, fished, learned his trades. Because when you live on a dairy farm, you're also a worker. From the age of 8 until 18, he learned crafts from his father. Plumbing, electrical, mechanical skills, how to handle animals. So many things to teach a young mind. But the common thread, and from his mother, he learned housekeeping, cooking. Nobody was exempt from helping with dinner on the family farm. So we learned so many things in that atmosphere. But the big thing was, because the town that he lived in, I think we can relate, of a town less than 2,000 people, where everybody knows everybody, and they also know their business. Not in a bad way, because you're in a small town like that, you're involved in volunteerism, either through the fire department, community services, and political field, through the schools, through the churches, so many avenues. This was a common thread for this young boy's life because his father was a township supervisor. He would go to meetings with him, tag along. He would go to the fire department. Fire trucks make great jungle gyms. With his mother, always doing community service either as a homemakers group or PTO or going door to door for the American Cancer Society, getting out and meeting people, learning how to speak to people that you don't necessarily know. She was fearless. She would talk to anyone and ask for money to help a cause. But life was good, the life of the little boy. The second person I want to introduce you to is the young man. This young man, he's 18 years old, graduates from high school. And aren't we always the smartest we are ever going to be when we're 18 years old? We know everything. The beauty of it was he has a partner in crime, his high school sweetheart. They decide to get married, start a life of their own. They're going to show everybody how this is going to be done. And as we all know, looking across this crowd, they found out very quickly that at the end of the month, there was usually more bills than there was money. Didn't see that coming. But they worked hard. They made a home. They had jobs. They weren't the greatest jobs, so you know what you get when you're 18 years old, whatever you can get. But they were starting to build a life. And apparently they didn't know how things worked because then the kids showed up. 2 more mouths to feed in pretty short order, and then there was even more bills at the end of the month. But everything that they did as a family was about those kids, providing a life for those kids. They didn't go out to eat, they didn't go out and do a lot of extra social things, but what they did were things in their community. Contribute to church events, contribute to the fire department, contribute to whatever was out there. Teach your children to volunteer. It was part of our life, part of our family. And life was good. As they aged, they got better jobs, they interacted more. He got a much better job in manufacturing, in the textile industry, worked hard, made good money. They lived the American dream, and life was good for the young man. The third person that I'm going to introduce you to is the middle-aged man. Now imagine this man. He's in his 40s, established in his community, recognized as a peer in many of the groups he contributed in, wasn't just the worker bee anymore, now was maybe sitting on the board or directing things, involved in politics in his community, had a great job, was actually a production manager in a textile facility, living the American dream. Kids are grown and gone, the empty nest occurs, that's a whole different thing to learn. But they had the house, the cars, the boats, the toys, all the things, the true American dream. Life was good. They contributed to their community. But then 2008 happened. We remember 2008, just another big bump in the road where the economy did that number. The middle-aged man goes into the boardroom that morning to meet with his bosses, and they sit down to have a meeting, which they did many mornings. But that morning, he was informed that the company was going in a different direction. But he wasn't getting a ticket to that ride. So, if you haven't guessed by now, those three people are me. The reason I break it down that way, aren't we different people as we age, as we mature, as we learn? But the common thread throughout my life was volunteerism. It has always been there. It's just what you do. So it was natural. So I sat there in 2008. The rug, literally, the rug, gone. I didn't know where to go. I could have stayed in the textile industry, hung on a little bit further in the north where we were, but it's like, what do I do now? I felt betrayed. I had lived big. I had dared to dream. I had taken chances in industry. Thanks, Mom. I worked hard, kept my nose to the grindstone. I worked 15, 20-hour days in a production facility to make it work. It was gone. Everything I was taught was a lie in my mind. But I sat there and go, what do I do next? I could chase the dream. I could keep working in textiles. But the thing, go back to my dream, or back to that constant thread of volunteerism, as I was volunteering, I was taking schools, learning, and building a second career as a firefighter, an EMT. And I had a mentor come into my life, always been in my life. I read a letter from him today. He met me in 1988, and this is clear in 2008, so he'd been in my life a while. Called me up, and I have to say it in his tone of voice. Well, you think about being an EMT? And this is the way he talked. He was very short, simple, and to the point. No. He said, well, we're hiring. So I took a leap of faith. I stepped off the proverbial cliff. And I became a part-time EMT. The same department that hired for that, eventually I promoted to firefighter EMT, eventually became a team leader and a shift sergeant at the same department, got involved in the union, and my life was blossoming again because of my volunteerism. It led me places. I had mentors from New York, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia. So many places, mentors played an important role, and we'll get to that. But that was my dream. All of a sudden, I realized I'm getting to do what I did as a 10-year-old, I wanted to do as a 10-year-old kid. I came full circle. You can too. Now you're sitting in the crowd and you're going, I don't want to be a firefighter. That's dangerous. I want to be an EMT. It's not about that. Think back to your 10-year-old dream. Did you want to be an artist? Did you want to be a writer? Did you want to be a nurse, a doctor? Whatever it could be, a veterinarian. That opportunity is still there. Volunteer in your community. If you're an artist, an event like this is kind of packaged, but think about a church social that may want to make posters. Volunteer to do that. Start to dive back into that dream again. A dream deferred is not a dream that is dead. Resurrect that dream. If you're into veterinarian, you want to do that. Volunteer at the animal shelter. They're always looking for people to give time. And what a gift. You're not only helping your community by giving something back, you're getting tenfold back in your pocket. What I like to say about my dream, I knew going back into emergency services and public service, I would never be a rich man. Public sector, made pretty good money. But I wanted a job that would fill my soul before it filled my wallet. That's what volunteerism gave to me, because it acted like that incubator. It acted like that incubator where I could test drive. You go to the car lot, they look great on TV. It's wonderful. I'm going to test drive it. You get in, oh, that thing's a dog. Volunteerism allows you to test drive your dream again, to grow your dream. It's like an incubator. You might think you want to work as a healthcare worker, and you do one shift at the local clinic. You go, whoa, not for me. That's the beauty of volunteerism. No matter even if it wasn't for you, you got to give something back, and you got to test drive that dream again. And it might flower from that. That one visit doesn't make you a doctor, a firefighter, an EMT. It's just planting the seed to see if it grows. Plant as many seeds as you can. It might grow a forest. It's a great thing. But there's a but. Always in my presentations, and I have taught for years, and people know I love to explore every avenue of a subject. There's a but. I look across this crowd and across our community. I see people that, I don't say old because I'm getting there. We're more tenured and seasoned. And you're going, well, I'm not going to change my dream. I had a good career as a businessman. I had a good career as a firefighter. I had a good career, whatever it would be. You need to be out there volunteering too, looking for the diamonds in the rough that are trying to find that spark. I had so many great mentors. I carry mine with me. He's in my pocket tonight. I wouldn't have a career without him. Still touches me deep. Be that mentor. You have a critical role. You give back to your community, you find that diamond in the rough, and start to foster that dream for someone. Start to guide them and push them where they need to be. My career has taken me many places. My volunteerism has taken me many places, from volunteer fire chief of a town of 2,000 people to teaching for Penn State University, the Pennsylvania State Fire Academy, places I could have never thought I would ever go in my life, all because of volunteerism. Currently, I work as a captain at the city of Goose Creek here in South Carolina. My dream's fulfilled. My mission to you here tonight, to each one of you, is to, one, either go out and find that dream again and chase it. And for those of you who have already had your dream, your job is to help someone chase their dream. Thank you very much. That's all I have for you tonight.